name is Michael Rapaport. You are now listening to a brand new I Am Rapaport stereo podcast where I am discussing they sent a fucking pipe bomb to Bob De Niro, to Bobby fucking D. They crossed the fucking line with that. An honorable mention, Hall of Fame Stickman has been removed for the first time ever. A potential Hall of Famer who made it to the honorable mention category has been removed from the list until further notice, and so much more with Plus, I got special guest. He's back, shit talker, with stories about Drake, bumping into LeBron, literally, and so much more. Ben Baller is back in the building. We're talking Lakers. We're talking World Series. We're talking about a ride in his fucking Lamborghini. He took me for a ride in his fucking Lamborghini, and I almost threw up. All that and more in a smash mouth. Brand new I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. Miles, Jordan, yeah, let me get something real nice. Let me get something real proper. All right, I got to talk about my bookie. Watching football is fun. It's fantastic. We all know this, but it's even more entertaining when you put some action on the game. Guys, you've heard me talking about it for weeks, okay? And some of you, for some reason, are still on the sidelines. Whether you're an expert or a rookie, you should be betting at my bookie, mybookie.ag. If you're the kind of guy or girl that likes to bet a little and win a lot, like playing the numbers on roulette, you can create a big parlay, okay? A parlay means you pick 3 teams to win, and if you hit all 3, you can turn $100 into $600, like Pittsburgh -8, Indianapolis -3, and the Packers +9.5. Together, parlez-vous parlay? That's French for parlay. There's so much to bet on at mybookie.ag. Look, a deal is a deal, and MyBookie is offering a fantastic deal, offering 100% bonus for the last time this year. That's right. After Sunday's kickoff, okay, you can kiss that bonus goodbye. Also, make sure you follow at MyBookie on Twitter and Instagram. They personally respond to every mention and DM personally. Not to mention that they've given away a nearly $10,000 in free money. $10,000 in free money to their followers this football season. Log on to mybookie.ag right now. Do not miss out on your last opportunity to collect the industry's biggest bonus, 100% bonus. Use the promo code Rapaport, RAPAPORT, and you'll get your first deposit matched 100%. The promo code is Rapaport. You play, you win, you get paid at mybookie.ag. All right. Yes. This is the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. My name is the White Chocolatito, a.k.a. Bird, a.k.a. White Mike, a.k.a. the Jake LaMotta of podcasting. And I'm about to take you deep into the rocky waters of the 15th round on this Smash Mouth I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. What a week it has been. Crazy week. A week of winning. A week of fucking winning. First of all, I wanted to announce this the other day because I knew about this on Monday. And we recorded Monday night for the Tuesday podcast with Joey Coco Diaz. I had already knew about this, but I was asked not to mention it for whatever reason. Because that's the way it works. You know, sometimes you got to wait till they say announce it. But it was hard for me not to say anything about it. But I'm so fucking proud and excited and appreciative that the Netflix show that I'm on, Atypical, has been picked up for season 3. I'm excited about it. I'm happy about it. I'm relieved about it. You know, you make television, you make movies, you make podcasts, you make art, you make things, you make documentaries. You never fucking know. You never fucking know. You know, I did this show last year during my break from Atypical, White Famous with Jay Farrow on Showtime, which I loved, which all the fans loved. They loved it. Everybody loved it. Everybody who saw it loved it, and a lot of people saw it. But for whatever reason, and maybe one day I'll go into the exact reason, but let's just call it politics for right now, it did not get picked up. And it was fucked up. It was upsetting because we felt good about it. It was upsetting because you bust your ass. It's never good to be told no. The show was received well. People liked it. People still ask about it. But for whatever the fucking reason, and there's so many different variables, this time it was just politics. The show didn't get picked up. So you never know. And I would have bet that it would have gotten picked up. It just didn't. Atypical, very successful first season. Very, very successful second season. Critically acclaimed. Fans like it. Eclectic fans, meaning, you know, kids have come up to me and tell me they like the show. Adults have come up to me, tell me they like the show, and they like it for different reasons. I had a great time working on season 2. I had a feeling it would get picked up, but you never know until you fucking know. And Monday morning, I literally said, this is the fucking week. We got to find out. I can't fucking deal with this shit. The other actors were communicating. Nobody likes it. You're in limbo. Found out Monday morning, show got picked up. I was elated. I was fucking elated, but they said you can't announce it. You can't say anything about social media because they know that I'll start talking shit. I wanted to emergency podcast. They said you can't say anything till Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Boom. They announced it first, and then of course, you know, the announcement was public. Blah 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 blah. But Atypical is picked up for the fans of this podcast that have watched, supported, tweeted, texted me, and that enjoy Atypical. I appreciate it. Season 2 is streaming on Netflix, and we'll be back for season 3. Probably start shooting in the spring or something like that. I have no clue at this point, but I'll be back, and the show will be back. Atypical will be back. We will be back doing the damn thing for season 3, and I'm excited about it. So, as I told you, we got Ben Baller coming on later on. He's been on the podcast once before. Great podcast. It's a dope interview. Sit down with him. Talking shit. It's just kind of general shit talking about all things that are going on in the world today. Later on in the episode, I don't know what to say about this situation. They were sending bombs, pipe bombs, all week to different Democratic people. They sent the pipe bomb to President Obama. They sent the pipe bomb to Hillary Clinton. They sent the fucking pipe bomb to Joey Biden. I call him Joey B. And a few other people. And then I found out a few hours ago, they crossed the fucking line now, these motherfuckers. I don't know who these fucks are, but they sent a pipe bomb to Bob De Niro. These motherfuckers. Listen, all bets are off now. You want to fuck around? I don't support pipe bombs to anybody, okay? Republican, Democrat, anybody. I don't support fucking pipe bombs, okay? To anybody. Dick Stain, Donald Trump. I'm not with the pipe bombs, okay? Secret Service protect people who served in political office and who used to serve in political office, like the people I just mentioned, okay? But you want to send a pipe bomb to Bob De Niro? Bobby fucking D. They sent a pipe bomb to Bob De Niro's Tribeca restaurant. They tried to blow up Bob. Who the fuck? Who's sending those fucking bombs? Who is sending those fucking bombs? Who sent the bomb to Bob? That's what I want to know. I'm sure they're going to find this cocksucker, but you want to talk about some sucker shit. You want to talk about some punk ass shit. You're sending pipe bombs to Bobby fucking D? In New York City? You know how beloved Robert De Niro is in New York City? Presidential? You want to talk about presidential? You You want to talk about a guy who's revered? It's not okay. It's got to stop now. It's got to stop now. Right now.
I Am Rapaport Podcast.
As I mentioned earlier, a man who a lot of people pushed me into it. I was a little reluctant. I never felt totally comfortable. But a guy who actually made the ultimate list of great stickmen, part 1, in my soon-to-be New York Times best-selling book. This book has bold sports rants from the MVP of talking trash. Now, I don't know if you read the book or didn't read the book, or you listened to the book on audio tape or not. But if you didn't, it's your loss. Okay, I talk about all things sports, about meeting Muhammad Ali, 23 reasons why LeBron James will never be like Mike. I talk about my love for Magic Johnson, my hate of all things Boston sports, and so on and so forth. One of the revered classic chapters is the all-time ultimate list of great stickmen. Okay? Of course, we got people on the book on there right now. I'm reading from it right now. Albert Einstein, one of the great underrated stickmen of all time. Of course, Will Chamberlain, Leonardo DiCaprio, Derek Jeter, Jack Nicholson, and so forth and so on. In the list, the ultimate list of great stickmen, part 1 from my book. This book has bold sports rants from the MVP of Talking Trash, which is available on softcover, an audiobook. We do an honorable mention section. Some of the people that made the honorable mention section are Milton Berle, the guy who clipped Anna Nicole Smith when he was 100 years old. Remember that fucking guy? J. Howard Marshall II. Remember he was knocking down Anna Nicole Smith, God rest her soul, when he was like 100 years old. And a few other people. Madonna made the list as the honorable mention, and John Mayer made the list as an honorable mention, potential Hall of Famer. He's off the fucking list officially. Now, some would say, how could that be? Look at his list of women. Jennifer Aniston. Apparently, he was with Kim Kardashian, Katy Perry, Jessica Simpson, Taylor Swift. The guy's got a fantastic list, but as I've said once, I've said it a billion times, the first rule of being a great stickman is never talk numbers, never discuss details. The first rule of being a great stickman is never discuss being a stickman. I don't know how much more I can stress it. I don't know what I can do to stress it anymore. But this fucking guy, John Mayer, has been slipping for a long time. He was doing some interview. I don't know what the fuck it is. He's an oversharer. Okay, John Mayer's a handsome guy that could play guitar, and he's not a good songwriter. Okay, but that guitar can get you a lot of pussy. That's a fact. Chicks like the guitar player. They like the drummer. He's a handsome guy, very, very, very good guitar player. Hasn't made that many great songs. Okay? And he's bedded down a bunch of women. I mean, that's just some of the list. But I've always thought this guy's a fucking goofball. He doesn't really know what to do with himself. He's a guitar nerd. He's probably spent thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. And no disrespect, they say it takes 10,000 hours to perfect a craft. But during some interview, John Mayer was once again asked about the different women that he's been with and how many women he's been with. And the number came up of 500. They started doing the math. How would that work? It's like 37 women a year for 20 years. Yeah, listen, you're a big star. That's easy work, okay? But if you want to make the Hall of Fame stickman list, if you want to be considered an I Am Rapaport coxman, up there with the great Burgess Meredith, up there with John F. K. and John F. K. Jr., you don't talk numbers. Now, some might say, well, Wilt Chamberlain, he talked numbers. He said he was with, what did he say, 10,000 women or some crazy shit? Listen, I personally, I think that was bullshit, okay? I think Wilt Chamberlain, God rest his soul, had some secrets in his closets. Okay, it's been well documented, but he's gone. He said that. There was a lot of scrutiny. There was a lot of chaos, arguing in the Stickman community, but that's what Wilt Chamberlain said. Okay, but he's gone. We can't argue with him now. He's a Hall of Famer, whether it was 10,000, 5,000, whatever. He was putting in that work. Whether or not he had secrets, that's a rumor. Doesn't matter. None of that matters. He's gone. John Mayer's 41 years old. You're off the list, Duke. Okay? You're off the motherfucking list. Real stickmen don't talk. Do you hear Jeter talking? Did you ever hear Jack Nicholson talking? Did you ever hear Leonardo talking? They let the sticking do the talking. Okay? Milton Berle, fantastic stickman. Fucking Dominique Wilkins, great coxman. You never heard a peep from these guys. Prince, he showed and proved he didn't talk. John Mayer, you fucking goofball, guitar playing goofball, you're off the list until further notice. Sorry, Charlie. I'm not going to argue about it. I'm not going to discuss it. It is what it is. The first rule of being a stickman is never discuss being a stickman. It's fucking basic. Where do you think the Fight Club got the line? The first rule of being in Fight Club is never discuss fight man. From the stickman list. From our stickman rules. Look it up. Fact check it. I'm not going to do it. It's the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Fact check nothing.
I Am Rapaport Podcast.
Listen, you know that I'm all about my NFL football, and you know that my book has balls. Now you can combine my knowledge and my writing to win you money. I personally picked every single game this weekend at sportsbetcollective.com with commentary you won't find anywhere else. I tried to tell you last Friday. If you didn't check it out, did you check it out? Those who did were rewarded because the Gringo motherfucking Mandingo, went 10-2-1. 10 wins, 2 picks were incorrect, and 1 tie. Okay, and 1 broke even. That means I'm better than the Vegas handicappers this year. 10-2-1. Look it up at sportsbetcollective.com. What the fuck? My opinion just costs $1. What the fuck? That rhymes. My opinion just costs $1. Break the bank. You need any edge you can get. And you know I am a senior fantasy football guru. That's a fact. I didn't just make that up. I'm a senior fantasy football guru. You don't have to listen to me. They've also got expert writers picking NBA, college football, every single thing you could think of. Bookmark this page. sportsbetcollective.com. Catch all my picks at sportsbetcollective.com. NBA is picking up its pace. The NFL is in full, beautiful bloom. One of the big stories this week are that the shitty Oakland Raiders, who I believe, and I'm not fact-checking, are 1-5. Derek Carr, their star quarterback, who doesn't curse, which is always a concern of mine. I remember Dwight Howard, basketball player, he didn't curse. And I was always like, I don't want my big man not cursing. I want him dunking on you and then talking about your mom in vulgar terminology. I want him blocking your shot and being like, get that shit out of here, you punk motherfucker, you. And we're going to get to some shit talking that went down in the NBA between a friend of the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast and a player that I'm a fan of, Andre Drummond, and I'm a fan of Joel Embiid. They've been going back and forth. They had a tough game a couple of days ago. But let's stay on Derek Carr. Derek Carr, and let's remind ourselves, in 2016, the Oakland Raiders were 12-4. They finished the season at 12-4. They were 12-2 when their all-star, all-pro quarterback, Derek Carr, went down with a broken leg. He broke his leg. Okay? He came back the next season, which was 2017 last season. They were never the same. The Oakland Raiders weren't good. My guy, Amari Cooper, who just got traded to the Dallas Cowboys, who had a case of the yips all last season. Amari Cooper, our guy, we talk big up him on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. He won me a fantasy football game in 2016, and since then he's had the yips, meaning a wide receiver who can't catch the ball. That's like me being a podcaster without a voice. Remember the summer of 2017? I almost lost my voice. No voice, no podcast. Can't catch a ball? You're not a wide receiver. Maybe you could play defensive back. Maybe you play strong safety. I don't know what, but you're not a wide receiver if you're not catching the fucking ball. That's just the way it works. Derek Carr got injured again last week. In London, the Raiders are playing the Seattle Seahawks. They lost the game 27-3. They traded away their best football player, Khalil Mack. Their team sucks. They're in complete disarray. Beast mode is not a beast anymore. Sorry. He's an inconsistent beast. Sorry, Marshawn Lynch. The beast mode days are over. Okay, 1 or 2 runs in the beginning of the season. Now it's done. But at one point in the game, Derek Carr went down with a shoulder injury. And rumor has it is that there were tears in his eyes and he was crying. If I was an Oakland Raiders fan right now, I would be crying too. There was a rumor this week that the Oakland Raider players have turned their back on Derek Carr because he was crying. My question is, why aren't all of you crying? If I was Derek Carr and I came back after breaking my fucking leg, do you know how hard it is to recover from breaking your fucking leg? I broke my fucking leg when I was 2. I've never been the same. Okay? I broke my fucking leg at 2. Derek Carr's a quarterback and broke his leg. He didn't twist it. He didn't fracture it. He broke his fucking leg. He came back. He was never the same. They're 1-5. They got a coach, John Gruden, who gets $100 million. It's more than any football player in the NFL right now. $100 million guaranteed. Which means if he breaks his leg, he's still going to get paid. If Derek Carr breaks his leg again and can't play, he ain't getting his money. Their coach is getting their money. I don't get it. John Gruden is not David Copperfield. He's not Harry Houdini. You can't just presto changeo and boom, the Raiders are going to be good. Then for some fucking reason, they traded their best player, Khalil Mack, who's probably the defensive player of the year this year for the Chicago Bears. Shout out to my man Aaron out in Chicago Rapapack headquarters. They looked at the tape and all that stuff. I don't think Derek Carr was fully crying, but if he was, he should be. The rest of the Oakland Raiders should be crying. It's been a disgusting, disappointing year for the fans. The fans of Oakland should be crying because you know what the reality of it is? One of the most iconic franchises in all of sports. That Oakland Raiders shield, that Raiders shield is one of the most iconic emblems in all of sports. Yankee emblem, the Dallas Cowboys star, the Raiders, no matter what the sport is. Everybody knows that Raiders shit. Going back from NWA and all the West Coast rap to Lyle Alzado, Howie Long, Jack Tatum, and all those guys. The Oakland Raiders will never, ever, ever be relevant in the NFL again. By the time the Oakland Raiders figure it out, they will then be the Las Vegas Raiders. If I was Derek Carr, I would be fucking crying too. And if teammates were talking shit, then you motherfuckers just don't care. If I broke my leg and I'm 26, 27 years old, I came back and then possibly dislocated my shoulder while I'm in London, losing 27-3 to the Seattle Seahawks, playing in fucking London, I'd be crying fucking too. I was talking about this when I was on Undisputed with Skip, my man Chris Broussard, Debo, James Harrison will be on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. James Harrison, former Pittsburgh Steeler, fucking goon, badass. He was on there with me. He said, yes, I come fuck with your podcast. I fuck with Debo. Challenge him to a push-up contest. He didn't want that smoke. Challenge him to a squat contest. He didn't want that smoke. Maybe when he comes on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, he will actually want that smoke and we'll get it on. Push-up contests, squats. I started doing air squats in front of him. He said, I don't even warm up with squats with my own body weight. I said, well, I didn't know what to say to that. Squats are hard. He mocked me, meaning he only does squats with extra weight, 200 pounds, 300 pounds, whatever the fuck he's doing. He mocked me while I was doing my squats. But it was dope to do, an hour plus of Undisputed. I don't know why Shannon Sharp wasn't there. It was fun. Live TV is dope. And those guys worked their asses off, man. Skip Bayless works his ass off. That show starts at 6:30. I was wrong. I thought it started at 7 in the morning. It starts at 6:30 Pacific Coast time. That means they wake up at like 4. They got to prepare. They make it look so easy. Talking on TV, live TV for 3.5 hours. Yo, that shit is no joke. I did an hour live. Shit is no joke. Yeah, there's commercial breaks, but it's just no joke. I love doing that show. Chris Broussard and Skip, those are my guys, and it was dope to do it. Broussard, I love him because we talk about NBA, and the NBA is heating up. The other night, listen, I'm a Joel Embiid fan. It's hard not to like him. His coming back from his injuries, his personality is likable, but enough is enough, okay? I don't want my at least 7'2", 280-pound center being both funny and a flopper. You could be funny and not a flopper. You could be a flopper and not funny, but Joel Embiid, who is one of the best big men in the NBA, and I'm a fan, you can't be funny, all your Instagram, you can't be Troel Embiid, and then get out there and talk shit and flop. This ain't soccer, Duke. Okay? This ain't Major League Soccer. This ain't the World Cup. You're out there flopping like you're playing like some sort of weekend soccer game. The Detroit Pistons, Blake Griffin had 50 on them, played the Philadelphia 76ers the other day, and they were going at it. Before the game, they didn't shake hands. Joel Embiid and my man Andre Drummond, Goon Squad Andre Drummond, fucking bully ball Andre Drummond. He's on some Moses Malone shit. He's on some Bob Lanier, but he's more skilled. But that motherfucker, he's on some bully ball shit. They did not shake hands before the game. They don't like each other. They had some shit last year. They were talking shit. Andre Drummond, you heard him on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. He's not a talker. He's about that shit. He's one of the most underrated players in the NBA. He's one of the most underrated big men in the last 15 years of the NBA. He's a 20-20 dude. He's a double-double machine. That motherfucker will put up 25 points, grab 20 rebounds, and none of it will make it to SportsCenter. There will be no highlights because he doesn't have that kind of game. He has that bully ball kind of game. Okay? So they played in a game and they were going at it, and, Joel's no joke. He's big, he's tall, he likes to block shots. But at one point, he flopped and got Andre Drummond. He barely touched him. He flopped. The referees saw it, which I don't know why the referees don't replay it. This motherfucker, literally fell down like he got shot in the dick with a BB gun. And the referees gave Andre Drummond a tech. I don't know why. They do replays for every single thing else. They need to start doing replays for these flops. Because it's embarrassing that you're 7'3", 280 fucking pounds, and you're flopping around like a fish on a boat that's afraid it's never going to go back into the ocean. And the shit talking and beef continues, and I love it. I love good old-fashioned basketball beef. I love two big motherfuckers that don't like each other. Okay? But I don't like funny and flopping. Okay? I don't like funny and flopping. I'm a fan of Embiid's game, but after the game, Andre Drummond said, well, let me start with what Embiid said. Joel Embiid said that Andre Drummond can't shoot. Listen, I don't think he's a great shooter either. But when you can get to the basket because you're just such a bully, you don't really need to shoot. He said that he declared himself the James Harden of bigs because of his flopping prowess. See, that's funny, but that's nothing to be proud of. You're 7'3", 280, Duke. You're proud that you're the James Harden of bigs? Andre Drummond came back and said, you really can't have a conversation with a big man who can't play a back-to-back game. Andre Drummond said, I've been playing for 6 years and I've missed 5 games. So when homie can play a whole season without taking a rest, he could come talk to me. The guys play next week. That should be the game of the week. Okay, the Pistons and Sixers play again next week in Philly. I'm on Team Drummond. I'm always going to be on the quiet goon guys' side. Okay, I like the Sixers, but I like the goons. I miss Stan Van Gundy in Detroit. I miss Bizarro Stan Van Gundy. I haven't heard from him. Be on the lookout. Maybe he will emerge the day of the Sixers-Detroit Pistons rematch. But I don't like the flopping Troel Embiid. That's right. And if you want that smoke, come here to the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. We'll see how funny you are, Duke. The other night, you probably saw it. I was watching it live on my NBA Pass. The Golden State Warriors were playing the Washington Wizards in Golden State, and I lost respect for the Wizards. Fucking Bullets. I still call them the Washington Bullets. Steph Curry went nuts. Steph Curry scored 51 points in 3 quarters. And up until the end of the third quarter, it was like a 15-point game. I mean, Washington wasn't down 40. Steph was doing all kinds of Harlem Globetrotter, Papa Shot shit, busting their ass, killing them. And at one point, Kelly Oubre of the Washington Wizards, looked at Steph after he made a 3 in his mouth. He made a 3 in his grill piece. He looked at him like, what are you doing? And then later on in the fourth quarter, about 10 minutes into the fourth quarter, Kevin Durant came down the lane with no interference, with no resistance, dunked on the motherfucker. He dunked on nobody because there was no one near him. And then he asked to be checked out of the game because he said, take me out of these games. These dudes are trash. And I understand why. The Washington Wizards, that moment that they had a couple of years ago, when John Wall hit that game winner in game 4, not game 5, game 4, not game 5, but was acting like the series was over and then they wound up losing the series. That's who John Wall and the Washington Wizards are. They've hit a ceiling. They're not champions. They have talent. I love Bradley Beal. I love John Wall, but you can't let a dude run down the... First of all, Steph's hitting 51. You can't do anything about that. But when he's doing it, don't gesture at him like, wow, you're so good. That's for me to do at home. That's for the fans to do. You're on the court with him, Kelly Oubre. And then after he scores 51 in 3 quarters, don't let Kevin Durant come down the lane with no resistance to the point where he's like, I gotta sit me out. These dudes are trash. He actually said that. And he had a right to say it. They gave up. The Washington Wizards gave up. They literally took their heart. And after the game, Steph Curry, he likes to talk his little shit. He posted a picture of himself and he said, #ruin the league. Because everybody's saying that, that the Golden State Warriors ruined the league. And obviously the icing on the cake was Boogie Cousins, who's not playing yet, coming to the league. And I thought about it. I said, he didn't ruin the league. The league ruined the league. Andre Drummond got hurt. Not Andre Drummond. Boogie Cousins got hurt. He's been a little bit of a pain in the ass on teams, but you can't argue with his talent. He tore his Achilles. He got offered nothing from no other teams. And the Golden State Warriors signed him. Put it this way. Let's say you're used to driving a Honda Accord. Okay, you've driven Honda Accords, which I had a Honda Accord. They're good cars, right? They're not luxury cars. They're good cars. They're safe cars. They have all some bells and whistles. You know what you're getting. It's a good, fair-priced car. But let's say you go to the car dealership and they're like, yo, check this out. I know you're a Honda Accord guy, but believe it or not, I got a Rolls Royce sitting here. And I could give you this Rolls Royce for actually cheaper than your Honda Accord. Now all you got to do is let the Rolls Royce get a tune-up for a few months. Let it get repaired a little bit, but it's next to new. It's not brand new, but it's next to new. But I'm going to give you a Rolls Royce. It's red. Okay, I know you like a simple, low-key, dark gray Honda Accord, but I'm going to give you this red Rolls Royce for a cheaper price than you pay for your Honda Accord. What are you going to do? The Golden State Warriors got a Rolls Royce for the price of a Hyundai. No disrespect to people that drive Hyundais, but they got DeMarcus Cousins for the price of a Hyundai. So when he comes back and the Golden State Warriors continue to kick ass, do not blame Steph. Do not blame KD. Do not blame Boogie Cousins. Do not blame the Golden State Warriors. The rest of the league could have signed him, but they didn't. He wound up on Golden State. He's going to be a great team player. He's going to be a great addition, and the Golden State Warriors are going to win the championship. And like I said, Steph Curry right now is on par. We're 5 games into the season, which means nothing, but Steph Curry is on par to win the MVP. Like I said, he's playing free. He's healthy, and you really just can't stop him. You can't stop Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant had 30 points. Steph Curry had 51 points. Right there's 81 points between two people. Low key, that should be Klay Thompson's nickname. Low key. Low Clay. Low key is better than low Clay. They're going to win the championship. But don't get mad at Steph and the Golden State Warriors. They didn't ruin the fucking league. The rest of the league ruined the fucking league. And the league's not even ruined. The NBA is so competitive right now. From teams like Detroit, who's a problem, to Kemba Walker down in Charlotte, to Kawhi, who should stay in Detroit. You're not built for a big city, homie. I was thinking about this. If you don't like to talk, and that's fine if you're shy, and that's not a disease, and you're a quiet person, don't just stay in Toronto. I think Kawhi Leonard should stay in Toronto. Make Toronto, make Canada your own. Be the dude up there. They don't want you to do song and dances. You don't need to be like fucking Joel Embiid, Mr. Joke Guy. Just kick ass, do your thing. Houston's good. Oklahoma City's going to be a problem. The Utah Jazz are really good. Orlando has improved. The Denver Nuggets. The NBA is in great fucking shape. And I don't even need to bring up the Los Angeles Lakers, who finally won a game. But I don't want to hear about the league is ruined or all that stuff. No. By the way, the Cleveland Cavaliers haven't won a game yet. I'm just throwing that in. They haven't won one fucking game. Not yet. They're going to win one at some point, but I won't be surprised those motherfuckers go like 0-9, 0-10. Good. Good. That's what you get. You fucks you.
I Am Rapaport Podcast.
What else? Oh, I saw that movie, Skip It. Skip It. It was trash. Bohemian Rhapsody about Freddie Mercury and the group Queen. Remember the movie what the fuck was it? It was like a mock, what was it? A Walk Hard. Walk Hard, the Dewey, the Dewey Cox story. Funny movie. John C. Reilly, Walk Hard. It was like mocking all the documentary style, rock films, and it was mocking the, it was like a spoof on the, Johnny Cash movie, Walk the Line. Bohemian Rhapsody is not trying to be a spoof on rock and roll films like The Doors and all that, but it is. Skip it. I hate to say it, the shit's whack. It was laughable at times, and they all got on bad wigs and British accents, and it's just not good. I don't know why they released it in November. You ain't getting no awards, Duke. Sorry. And I'm mad that I went to go see it because I wasted my fucking time. I should have sent the young shooter to go see it beforehand because he goes to see everything as soon as they come out. But I saw a screening of it. Nonetheless, skip it. But I wanted to talk about Caitlyn Jenner. She's piping up again. Caitlyn Jenner, who openly voted for Trump, who said she was, she was going to help open up his mind and open up the Republican Party to the LGBTQ community. And you know, she's a Republican. Fine, I'm not going down that alley. But you're a transsexual woman. You know how these people feel about you. Yet you thought the ego is so fucking big. You thought you and your awkward, weird self. And it has nothing. Yo, Caitlyn Jenner, when she was Bruce Jenner, was awkward and weird. Okay? You're not likable. You don't have a likable quality. When you were Bruce, you weren't likable. When you were in your heyday, you weren't likable. And now that you're Caitlyn, you're not likable. So she penned a letter. No one wants your letter. No one gives a, sadly, I was wrong. The reality is that the trans community is being relentlessly attacked by the president. Caitlyn, you're not the spokesperson for the LGBTQ community. You're on the top of a cliff in Malibu. You're not in the struggle. Okay? No one gives a fuck about your opinion. You're a flip-flopper. You voted Republican because of your wallet and your taxes. You weren't thinking about the LGBTQ community then. Don't think about them now. Just live your life. Enjoy yourself. You're not that dude. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I didn't mean that figuratively. You're not that motherfucking person. No one wants to hear from you, Caitlyn. But you know who people do want to hear from? Is Ben Baller. He's back on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. Listen, came in last time. People loved it. I loved it. Fans loved it. Brought him back again, talking a lot of shit. I came so close to Willie Hutching. Willie Hutching, a really big time, very likable A-list actor. And people are probably going to say, who is about to get that Willie Hutch? Right now, I put them on ice. But somebody who I'm quote-unquote friends with, you know, who's, a big fan and respectful and all that stuff, ignored the request to be on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. I asked once, you fuck. Okay? I learned from Bill Simmons. I asked that fuck 3 times, and he got that Willie Hutch. He got that work. This motherfucker's so close to getting that public Willie Hutching, he doesn't even know it. But we talk about that. We talk about the Dodgers. We talk about jewelry. We talk about sneaker culture, what the expensive sneakers, and so much more. Coming up next, my main man, Ben Baller. Listen, it's getting a little colder out, okay? You can't just walk around in shorts and a t-shirt, all right? And Menlo Club is a men's subscription clothing service that delivers incredible product straight to your door for only $60 a month that will have you looking fantastic, and it's easy to figure out. Each month, you get 2 to 3 curated items of clothing shipped directly to you to help you build a thorough and well-balanced wardrobe. Guys, I've said it once, I've said it a billion times. I don't know how to dress. Okay, Menlo Club has me looking sharp, and it's easy. I don't have to think. Okay, these guys have been in the fashion game for 16 plus years, so they know what they're doing. Do you even like shopping? I don't. Are you too busy to shop? Are you too lazy? It's stressful. I don't like it. I don't like figuring out the color coordination. Menlo Club makes it simple. Leave it to Menlo Club. It's simple. You go out and pursue your passions and dreams, and the Menlo Club will have you looking sharp doing it. How easy is that? How incredible is that? Fall has fallen upon us, so you need to keep warm while looking sharp. There are 4 style profiles you could pick from: classic, casual, forward, or mixed. Right now, I'm into the mixed style. I mix, I match. For the month of October, go to themenloclub.com. That's themenloclub.com. TheMenlo club.com. Use the promo code CHAMP, that's me, and sign up and get a double package for your first month for only $60. All right, here we are. Here we fucking are. Ben Baller is back on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. Let me get a test, Ben Baller.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Let's just jump into it.
Let's get right into it, boss.
because it's a very exciting time to be a Los Angelino sports fan. First, I've said this once, I've said it many times, I could give a fuck about baseball. Your Los Angeles Dodgers, our mutual friend, Nick Turturro's big baseball. Your Los Angeles Dodgers are playing the Boston Red Sox in the World Series.
For the chip, man.
Now, I grew up hating Steve Garvey. I never understood Tommy Lasorda, like you're a Brooklyn guy, you're a New York guy, and now you're with I hated them. I was a Yankee fan when I loved baseball.
Of course.
Could give a shit about baseball now. Give me the reality, your prediction. You're a baseball guy, you're a Dodgers fan.
Well, I can't say I watch a ton of baseball, but I watch a lot of Dodgers. You know what I mean?
Give me the reality, because I want the Dodgers to beat the dog shit out of the Boston Red Sox. What can I expect? And Nick, my man, he predicted on this here I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, he promised me pretty much that the Astros, who I know nothing about, would handle the Red Sox. So break down what the fuck happened with the Astros and the Red Sox, and can I hope for some Boston tears?
So never in a million years would I ever even... Like, the crazy thing is, I would even think that Nick Turturro knows more about my Dodgers than I do. He's a sick guy when it comes to baseball. I had no idea. I thought, on the acting level, he's funny, and I watched a couple of his little videos he posts when he's at Yankee game and stuff. So let me break this down. Houston is like the Golden State fucking Warriors of baseball.
That's how they're looked at.
Yeah, they're incredible. They're insane,
then how
right?
the fuck did they lose to the Red Sox? Who are the Red Sox in basketball? Give me that analogy. Like, they're Golden State. Like, where would there be, like Oklahoma City? Or are they like Utah? Like, what level are they at?
I would say they're like between like the 76ers right now or the Toronto Raptors last year.
Okay.
They're good.
Okay.
They're good.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Listen, they're not here by accident, is what I'm trying to say. I think that we had a terrible beginning to the season as far as the Dodgers goes, and Boston's played pretty good, but Houston, I immediately said, listen, when Houston wins this, we're going to meet up with Houston for the rematch, and I'm just hoping we get one game. Now, this is the thing. They waxed Houston. They didn't just, it doesn't even make, they waxed Houston at home. They waxed, and the thing about it is, like, I got some friends who are diehard Dodger fans, right? And they give me shit. They're like, listen, real Dodger fans sit in the loge seats, in the upper level. You're sitting out there with the fucking Hollywood guys and blah, blah. You know what, man? I gotta say that first thing, George Lopez is a real Dodger fan. He's been going to the game since way back in the fucking day. He's from San Fernando Valley. His pops took him. He fucking introduced me to Fernando Valenzuela, to Steve Yeager. I mean, I can't even tell you how many people. This guy's a legend. Like, George is a legend on act level, but he's a real Angelino.
I got you.
And he really fucks with baseball. I went to every World Series game last year, and he was like, yo, listen. He texts me, and he goes, we're going to Boston, fucker. And I was like, okay, one, I'm not going to Boston. That's for damn sure. One, listen.
They're
man,
animals.
You have to understand, man. Listen, my brother and sister went to school in Boston. My cousin went to college in Boston. I met Mark Wahlberg way back in the early 90s. I don't fuck with Boston. I used to fuck with Guru real heavy too. He's from Roxbury Projects in Boston.
Not everybody's an animal out there. I got friends from Boston.
No, but they're fans.
They're crazy.
I don't know about the Patriots. Like, I don't really give a fuck about their fans. I don't really care. But as far as the Celtics fans, I'm talking about back in the day in the 80s, if you wore a fucking lick, come on, you would get killed out there. But the Red Sox fans are insane.
They're hard
savages.
Body. They're hard body. Here's the real question I'm going to throw at you.
Okay.
You pulled up to the Gloom Tomb, pulled up to the crib in the Lambo. Okay, you're gonna take me on a ride in the Lambo if I could fit in the fucking thing.
Yeah, you can get in there.
If you had to, this is all theoretically, if you had to bet, not on your heart, not what you want, if you had to bet your Lamborghini on this World Series, would you bet, simple question, on the Red Sox or the Dodgers? It's either I'm going to walk away with a Lambo or I'm going to wind up giving away my Lambo. So you'd get 2 for 1, another Lambo. There's no over, there's no under. You're either walking away with another Lambo or you're going to walk away with your dick in your hand and no Lambo. And you don't get to ride it one last time. When it's over, it's fucking, they're coming to take that shit.
Well,
No.
Okay.
I don't want your nose.
Okay.
This is
All right.
because I don't know anything about baseball.
All right, no, I'm betting on the Red Sox then, man.
Wow.
Yeah, and they say you should never bet against your team or bet on your team or anything. And I used to be a degenerate gambler.
No, this is philosophical.
No, but I bet on my teams. I never bet against my team ever. But you're talking about my car, and you're talking about just realistic, whatever. And
like
and no
it's
one
an
has
investment. Like it's either I'm walking away.
No one has to know. It was like a personal thing. And
no, it's going to be public. This philosophical thing.
Oh shit!
But
man.
but you're you're Ben Baller.
Yeah.
So your name is like you're balling. So like yo.
Okay,
my
so
team,
then
I hate to do it, but I am balling because now I got 2 Lambos.
So I'm betting on the Dodgers then, and if I lose, it's nothing because I'm Ben Baller.
Okay, I got it.
But if it's on an investment level, I'm not betting on the Dodgers.
Okay,
on this.
Okay, fuck.
We've been too fucking inconsistent. Manny has definitely come through in the short amount of time, but at the same time, it's like everyone expects someone to get at bat and hit a home run, and that just doesn't happen. So. I'm hoping for the best. The home games are Friday, Saturday. We get 3 here in LA. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I believe. I'm pretty sure. Friday, I fly to fucking the Bay with Drake, and Saturday I'm there with Drake. So I come back Sunday. So if we won 1 game, which I'm hoping we do, which I don't think we will. If we win 1 game, then I get to go game on Sunday, and then we go back to the fucking.
No, I want to get to Lakers. You're going to the Bay to with Drake to do what? What's going on in the Bay with Drake?
So
I don't get you in your personal business.
No.
You brought it up.
Early on, I've known Drake for 10 years, and he calls it like a crazy full circle in hip hop. Me being a jeweler and then being in hip hop music and whatever, and him being a rapper. And, early on he was known, but he wasn't obviously where he's at now. And when his first shows happened and he started blowing up, he started getting bigger. We would do giveaways at his shows, and we pull a girl out of the audience, and I'd give her a chain, I'd give her a little watch here and there. So now what he does is, in the middle of his show, towards the end, between the third quarter of his show, he brings out a real basketball court on stage.
The stage?
A real basketball court.
How big is a fucking stage?
It's this stage this time is fucking huge.
Full court or half?
He brings a half court, but
Is there a floor?
There's a floor. The floor looks like a fucking hockey. It's huge.
Okay.
It's big enough to where he could have 200 people on stage, and it wouldn't even look like it wouldn't look that big.
Okay.
No, it wouldn't look that crazy. So, anyways, he brings a basketball court out, and what he does is
Jesus Christ,
he has them shoot a free throw, a 3-pointer, and a half-court shot. If they make the free throw, they get like $1,000 and a pair of OVO sneakers, the Jordans. If they make the 3-pointer, they get like 25 grand. And then if they make the half shot, they get like 50 or 100 grand. They get something stupid, and it comes out of Drake's pocket.
And they pick a random person.
Random dude.
From the crowd.
Yes.
So it's just like, they'll just pick somebody.
Pick some dude. I have no idea how, I didn't ask how it goes, but I brought.
It's legitimate, like they're picking a fan.
Yeah. The last Staples Center show, I came out and I brought something that represented, if I had more time, I would have brought like a little OVO owl or something, whatever, but I didn't have much time, so I said, listen, you know what? Let me think of something spiritual. A lot of people aren't, Catholic, so I can't bring a cross or a Jesus piece. I got to think of something spiritual, but it also represents Drake. So I brought a Hamza piece, It's the third eye. You have some of the Hamza is, you learn about it in fucking Hebrew school, or you can learn about it elsewhere. And it's like the third eye that's always looking out for you, the evil eye. It's looking out to protect you. So I brought a Hamza, and this guy comes on stage, third quarter of Drake's show, and he comes out wearing some Kobe sneakers and wearing a Kobe jersey, and we're at the Staples Center. And
So
I'm
that's
like, okay.
good.
I'm like, this motherfucker's out here about to get it in. So I'm waiting to fucking, give this chain. He's gonna be like, yo, my man Ben Baller's here. He's gonna give out a chain, boop-de-whoop, and it's good press for me. It's kind of like an old school thing we did. And he's the biggest fucking star in the world now, so it's a good look. So the guy comes out and he airballs. Well, he doesn't. he shoots the free throw and he hits the backboard and doesn't hit no rim.
Jesus.
So I'm like, okay. And we're trying to get it quick. We ain't got time to sit
We
there
ain't
and try
got
to
time
whatever.
for all this shit. Like, yo, we got the show. We want to give it away,
Yeah.
but motherfuckers came here
For
to see
real.
the music,
So
not here to see you shoot
dude
bricks.
goes to the 3-pointer and he airballs it by maybe like 6 feet. So I get it back in the tunnel. And I start walking back to my wife and my friend. I leave. He's not gonna make the fucking.
You're not
half court
making
this
the
time.
shot.
Yeah. So then by the
You'd
time
be
I
lucky
guess
if you hit anything from half court.
So when I went over there, he missed the half court too. He airballed the half court by another 6-7 feet. So
did they boo him?
I don't remember, you know, but yeah, it was a bad look. And then Drake's like, hey man, I don't got to pay anybody tonight. Cool. So I'm going to the Bay with them because one, I got a business out there. And then two, I wanted to catch up with, you know, some of the fam. LA is impossible to catch up with Drake because there's a million people there. And the night that I decide to go to the fucking show, LeBron is fucking there. It's like the worst
in
fucking,
LA?
At the LA show.
Were you at the LA show
Yeah.
when he
when he got on stage? I was right there. I literally was like, okay, look it, man. I'm not gonna go Friday because I had something to do on Saturday morning, and then my Saturday morning plans got canceled, so it became a Sunday thing. So I was like, should I go Sunday? I'm gonna be tired from my car event. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I told my wife and my boy I'm gonna take him Saturday. So I pull up Saturday, and all kinds of Secret Service and shit are inside the tunnel. They're fucking the tunnel entrance, you know. I was like, what the fuck is going on over here?
Was there a lot of security?
There was such crazy security,
like political shit, right?
Political shit above and beyond Drake's security, who I know all of them. Beyond that, to the point where I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Like you could tell it was somebody.
Then I see Beyonce walk down, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And she's walking with 6 guys on each side, and I'm like,
Jesus.
I didn't even get a chance to hire nothing, right?
Are they goons or they're like
No,
different sizes?
These are like, I would say one dude maybe looked like he could kind of get a goonie, little goonish, right?
But these are like
every other dude
killers.
is like straight up KGB level.
They could do like they're
Yeah.
on some Jackie
There's
Chan
some
shit.
straight up. No. These guys are like Born Ultimatum looking dudes, right? So then, 3 minutes later, I see Jay walk down.
Hove.
Yeah, Hove is walking down.
Is he by himself or does he have
He's with like 2-3 guys each, and he also has all his boys. I see a lot of the homies from Rock Nation. I see my boy Len Yes and a couple other my homies, blah blah, whatever. And I say what's up to Hove. I say what's up to everyone else. You know what I'm saying? What's up? And I'm there with Mark Wahlberg, and we're backstage just chilling. Me and Mark catching up, talking about a bunch of shit. And me and Mark, I was making Mark a chain a year ago, about almost exactly right now, a year ago from today. And when the Patriots lost, I went and talked crazy shit, and all of a sudden, I didn't hear anything from, like, he just ignored, he didn't text me nothing. I didn't text him back either.
That's the thing about Boston fans. Like,
Yeah.
you got 19 rings. Like, you got Tom Brady. You lost.
Yeah.
They don't.
Nah.
When it's over, it's going to be a hard fall.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, no, they don't have a sense of humor about it. Like, I have a sense of humor. I know my Knicks.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I know my Giants. I could take the jokes. They don't like, it's like there's an old pain that they just don't want to go back to. Like that suffering that those Red Sox fans and the Patriots fans before they were good, it didn't go away.
No. It didn't go away. So anyways, I'm using the bathroom backstage, and my wife goes, LOL, text me. She goes, LOL, babe, don't come back to the seats. And I'm like, why? And she goes, just trust me. You don't want to come back here. Just stay over there. My wife's the type of person that will never tell me to do that. My wife wants to know where I'm at. She always wants to hang out with me. She wants to be next to her. She wants me to hold her hand. You know, whatever it may be. She's telling me not to come back to the seats. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I'm like backstage talking to 40, talking to a bunch of other people, random people. I see Des Bryant. Me and Des Bryant start chopping it up. And like, she's like, hey, where are you right now? I was like, I'm by Drake's dressing room right now. And she's like, hey, okay, so LeBron is here, and he was right next to me, and now he's walking backstage. I'm pretty sure you're going to see him. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this is like the worst thing in the entire world.
That's why she said, don't come back to your seats.
So LeBron walks through. He's with all his kids, his sons. I'm sorry, not all his kids. He's with all his sons, and he's with Rondo, too. And one thing, I hated Rondo because he's a Celtic. I just didn't like Rondo, right? And now I've accepted the fact that I'm like, you know, he's Laker, I'm cool with it, whatever. And my boy's like, yo, listen, how could you be cool with that dude when you talk so much shit about him? And I was like, he was a Celtic, he was my rival. They're like, well, then why aren't you cool with LeBron? Because I've talked above and beyond, I've talked too much shit, and it's
There's
turning
no coming back.
There's no coming back from that. So Rondo's having a little discussion with Mark. I turned my head again. Now LeBron's having a conversation with Mark, and you know, they're sitting there talking, blah, blah, whatever. And Mark's like, yo, man, you took my guy from us, you know what I'm saying? You got Rondo, blah, blah, whatever. We're talking. And I'm trying to avoid it. And LeBron's son's like, yo, that's Ben Baller. You know what I mean? Whatever, blah, blah. So I walk away.
You heard him say that?
Yeah. So I walk away. As I'm walking away, I feel the shoulder shrug a little bit. And I wanted to stop and be like, come on, man. Really, bro? You know, like there's plenty of space between us, whatever, blah, blah.
But that could have been a good sort of like, I'm shrugging you, like you're here.
No. And then I look back and... you know what, man? I have so many friends who are like Javel. He's 7 feet. You know, I see people, they look big and certain people look big. For some reason, LeBron looks like a superhuman robot.
He's a big motherfucker.
No, he's a big guy.
He ain't just 6'9".
I have to use weapons and everything. I don't think he's even, I don't know what it is. He just looks like a big dude.
His shoulders and shit.
And he was wearing like regular street clothes, so he looked even crazier, like big, whatever. And I was kind of like, yo, like, I was thinking everything next to me, like any of the cones, any kind of fucking stereo equipment.
Nothing
I gotta hit this guy, right? There's no way. Anyways, I'm just thinking all the bad shit in my head and I walk off. I'm not thinking anything else. So I go back to the VIP entrance of where Drake's family and friends, he set a special side of risers. It's a special section, okay? What is it called? The shop? Is that his TV show?
Yeah,
the shop just debuted the night before.
With the Drake one.
Yeah, and it was a big deal because the whole Kanye shit came out. So I'm like trying to not talk about it, whatever, blah, blah. And LeBron is here. This is crazy. I'm like, yo, this is nuts. Jay's here. Mark Wahlberg's here. I can't even tell you how many rappers were there, right? Like, it was crazy. It was just a lot of people were there. And then there was like all kinds of like Instagram stars in the crowd, blah, blah, whatever. So I'm walking back to I never even told anybody this. I'm walking back to the VIP entrance. I have an all-access OVO family pass around my neck, credentials. And the security guard says, you have to wait. And I was like, no, listen, let me tell you something real quick. I'm part of the OVO. I'm part of family. I'm here with Drake. Like, I'm walking in.
Check my pass ad.
Yeah, you're tripping. And she goes, I don't care. So then now 40 is behind the booth. And he goes, what the fuck is going on over there? I was like, bro, they're tripping. He goes, hold on, let me talk to him. So he tries to talk to them. Someone else from OVO tries to talk to them. No one can go in. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? They wouldn't let me in until LeBron walked into the risers before me and anyone else, I guess, whatever. And it was the most unbelievable shit. I was like, yo, dude, my wife is right in front of you. She goes, I know who you are, sir. Just wait. And so I'm about to get into I'm starting to get real irritated and angry. So finally, after I bullshit you know when you're sitting there, it's a long time waiting.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 minutes went by. 5 minutes is a long time, right? See LeBron go through. I'm like, all right, thank you. Jesus Christ. So I go to the section. I tell my wife, she's like, what's going on? I was like, babe, I don't know. Now, there's two sections of the risers. There's one little part and there's one little above that. And I see some food. So I'm like, oh, okay, dope. I want to get some popcorn. I want to get a couple beverages. And I want to get maybe some chicken food, some chicken
M&M's,
fingers,
something.
Whatever. So I walk over there. And all of a sudden, I'm bullshitting you not, a new rope appeared.
So they had an inside the inside.
Listen, I have...
That's what it was.
Not only do I have the all-access pass, I had the bracelet to be in the risers, which is two separate things.
Who was in that rope?
LeBron. So LeBron and Hove made another thing.
That's the presidential section.
Now, there's the thing, though. Hove was behind like 7 other people, and the security guard there with, I don't know the dude, so I'm like, bro, listen, man. You're making me look real corny. Listen, bro, I'm just trying to get some popcorn. He goes, the popcorn is for, Jay-Z and LeBron, this part here. Because you have to have a black wristband. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I hit my boy up. He's like, yo, bro, yeah, I didn't even tell you. I don't think Drake even knew. It was a special thing for LeBron and them just for the night. We made a special bracelet for them to have in the risers. I was like, bro, I just want some popcorn. I'll get you some popcorn. So I just felt like I looked crunchy in front of my wife because like I didn't have the all access, the whole nine.
Crunchy.
Yeah.
They made you look crunchy.
Yeah, they made me look crunchy.
No, the baller. Let me ask you a question. We've talked about this off podcast. I'm not a Laker fan. I want to see them do good. I love Kuzma. I have no hate against the Lakers. I'm really trying to figure out how I'm going to muster up my genuine hate because I don't fake the funk. Like when it comes out, it comes out. You're a Laker fan.
For real.
Like you're a for real Laker fan.
Yes.
How are you going to figure this out? You're going to root for... I told you need to come to terms.
Yeah.
I said you need to embrace what's going on right now. Otherwise, you're only hurting yourself. You can't become a Clipper fan. You're not going to become a Golden State Warriors fan. You're not going to become a Dallas Mavericks fan. Like, what are you going to do to come to terms with your LeBron hate? And this is coming from me.
Yeah.
And we've argued who hates him more.
Yeah.
But right now, you can't hate him. He's not on my team, so I'm still a free agent. I'm a hate agent.
So I've been watching him play.
What are you going to do?
I'm just not going to root for him, but He's done some amazing shit. When he did the back-to-back dunks for the NBA season
Did you
opener,
get excited?
I couldn't hate on it. I couldn't have said this crazy. When he this is where it came into a
You're
whole
confused.
crazy thing. When
You're like a scorned fucking lover at this point. You don't know
real
what
shit.
to do with yourself.
Dead serious. When he lost the free throw, when he missed the free throws, I was in my man cave. Lights were off, and he missed the free throws, and all of a sudden, Kobe's trending because all the Kobe fans are saying Kobe wouldn't have missed those free throws, blah, blah, whatever, which I agree. You're going to call me crazy, and everyone that's listening to this that knows me is going to be like, you're a bitch. I felt bad for LeBron when he missed those free throws.
Okay, good.
And not only did I feel bad for him,
I'm Dr. Phil here for you.
I felt like Bleacher Report is a little harsh on him on the captions and stuff.
Good.
They went a little hard. I was like, yo, man. I was like, it's like, I just thought about Miami when he first went to the Heat. That's what really initially got me to hate him because the whole press conference and shit. To me, that was some bitch shit.
Not 6, not 7, not 8.
And they lost a bunch of games, blah, blah, whatever. And
They're going to figure it out.
I said, they're going to figure it out here. I honestly think that we have a better team. So it's tough because I don't just dislike one person on the team, but I'm not really a big fan of Lonzo. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, but Lonzo does his thing. Again, he does does just enough, but even more than just enough to where he's quietly kind of doing really well.
Yes, he's a quiet dude. Like when there's no big baller and LeVar Ball, like he's just a guy who wants to play ball.
Right. And
like he's corny as fuck.
By the way, he was at the Drake show that night too. And so was Kuzma.
Was he dancing around and shit?
Nah, he was real low key, just chilling. He had like one of his homies, and Kuzma was there.
I fuck with Kuz.
I rapped with Kuz for a minute. Was talking to him for a little bit, and like I said, everyone was at the show. And
let me ask you a specific question. Was this the night he got on stage?
Yes.
Okay. Now
let me explain to you.
What did that conjure up? Because when I saw that video,
I have it on my phone right now.
You have your own.
I have you could okay. Listen.
You have your own video?
Yes. I have the video of him entering the stage, and I'll show it to you after the second. But let me explain something to you real quick. When Travis Scott, by the way, me and Travis were talking for 20 minutes before he got on stage. When Travis left the Risers, I knew he was going to go on stage perform. A lot of people didn't know.
What's the song they performed?
I'm sorry?
What's the song they performed?
Sicko Mode.
Okay.
One of my favorite songs, right?
Okay.
So they go up there to perform it. Travis goes on stage, and I honestly tell you, that was the only time I heard the stage erupt when Drake goes, yo, y'all ready? The place went fucking bananas,
Did
right?
they know what it was going to be,
No, I'm talking about early, the first before, like when the Migos got off, and then Drake came on to do his show. He just said something, and the place went crazy, right? They were screaming for the first couple songs, and then it just got loud. It wasn't like eruption loud. When Travis got on stage, the place went fucking hamburger. They went crazy. I'm talking, it was so loud. It was Justin Bieber concert loud, K-pop concert loud.
I got you.
Screaming, okay? Not even 20, 30 seconds into the song, I see this big motherfucking dude. Remember, Drake's like 6'1", you know what I'm saying? 6'2".
Right.
So, and I see this big dude enter the stage, and once people realized it was LeBron, and I'll play you the video, the place went like Game 7, we just won the championship, even louder than that. They went nuts. This motherfucker started busting out every current dance move. He had no microphone and was rapping. I couldn't believe they didn't rehearse this. And I asked Drake, he goes, we didn't rehearse that shit. He literally was, like, it was like he was meant to be there. But at the same time, like, one part, I'm like, motherfucker, what are you doing on stage, dog? And then the second part of me is like, Drake is so fucking smart that this is the craziest shit ever. Why wouldn't you want, one, any hater that doesn't like LeBron coming to LA, they might endorse it because they fuck with Drake. And on top of that, Drake wants to show love to the Lakers, or whatever it may be. I don't know, man. Drake likes to be liked, Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? But he made the place go upside down. So, like,
did they go nuts when
they went? No, bro. I'm gonna play the video. They went fucking crazy. Now, not only did they go crazy, I couldn't really cheer for. I kind of bounced my head for the song because he's on stage.
I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah, this is crazy. Like he was rapping. He knew every lyric. He was.
You know what's crazy about him? A song will come out the night before, and then the next day, literally, I've seen him do it a couple of times. A song will come out like on a Thursday night at midnight.
Yeah.
And then LeBron at 6 a.m. the next morning will be like on his Instagram, and they'll show it. I've seen it online. He knows all. I think LeBron has one of those crazy like photographic memories.
Maybe. Yeah.
I bet you he does, because when you're that level of genius at what you do, like it spills into other things.
Yeah.
Like it takes me weeks and weeks to catch a song.
No, for sure. I mean, bro, I know I've listened to Sicko Mode 1,000 times and I don't know all the lyrics. You know
that
what I mean?
motherfucker does.
Yeah,
and
he
I
knows
guarantee
every
you he
lyric.
didn't study. Like, he's just one of those people.
And then when he got off stage, Drake was like, yo, ladies and gentlemen, the king of LA or some shit. And I was like, come on, dog.
Now,
You're
the
going too far.
kings and fairy tales, like I've read a little bit. Shakespeare, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Shrek. Kings and fairy tales, they don't normally miss free throws. but yet LeBron missed those free throws.
Key ones. To
Yeah.
win the game.
Game-winning free throws. I wouldn't say key. I would say game-winning free throws.
Yeah.
I Am Rapaport podcast.
Rap beef. You know these guys. You know sort of the wink of it. You know the seriousness of it. What do you make of Drake, Kanye, when he was on the LeBron show, which I've said before, I like the show. But I don't want to care about my opinion. I think the show's good. They've only done 2 episodes. I think right now it's going to be a monthly thing. What do you make of where we are now with Kanye, Pusha T, and Drake? This whole sort of, this threesome, no Bruno, between these 2 guys. Is like, well, what is your take on it? And what do you know? What hot takes do you have? What is your opinion of it? What's real? What's not real? When will it end? What do you got on it? I know you fucking. I only want you. I want you to keep it funky with me, because I know you know shit. But also be politically correct.
I mean, I gotta be politically correct.
There's no reason not to be.
It's people like to say all the time, like, hey, listen, man.
Listen, if I told all the secrets I know about actors,
Yeah, no, I hear you. You wouldn't have a job, or you'd be banned or whatever.
at one point I will. When it's all done and said, I'll be like, this is this.
Right. I'm okay. So
And
the thing is,
I'll just say this. Just there's an actor. I'll just leave it at that right now. Who I'm friendly with, and big fan. You're a legend, Rapaport. This, that, and text this, invited me to something. And then when I said, "Do you want to come on the podcast?" I didn't hear back from him. And I told my wife. My wife said, "You should rant on that cocksucker," and that's all I'm going to say. And I said, "I'm not. But if I fucking Willie Hutched every cocksucker that deserves it, and this one, this was close.
right?
This was close because I asked once. I asked only one time.
No, I feel you.
Like Bill Simmons, I asked you 3 times, and then then you got Willie Hutched.
Yeah.
This cocksucker, I asked you once. I see you next time.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't expect
I asked you, so it's different. I feel you. So let's get to this real quick. So this triangle right now. Okay, one thing people would say, "Hey man, Ben, you should mind your own business, or you should, you don't have to say things, blah blah whatever." But you're asking me a question, and I'm going to say as much as I think I could.
And as a fan,
And as a fan, I still can't really say too much because it would sway a decision or opinion of which side I lean towards. But okay, so people may not know this, and this is where it gets crazy. My boy, Mr. Cartoon, who to me is one of the very few people who is a mentor in my life.
explain who he is real quick, because
Mr. Cartoon is the heartbeat and culture of Los Angeles to La Raza, that whole Latino, the Hispanics, lowriding culture, the baddest black and gray tattoo artist in the world, one of the best artists, graffiti, just again, really real LA, super
iconic
artist, Mexican,
Street.
hip hop, everything. And he knows a lot about hip hop shit that you'd be surprised. From down south to fucking back in the Stretch Barbito to everything to graffiti. I mean, he's, Wild Style, you name it. Star Wars. Anyways, Mr. Cartoon, he actually created the Clips logo. So, with that said, that's one thing. Pusha T and Malice, aka the Clips, were my first ever celebrity clients as a jeweler.
Okay.
So I've always respected that because I love the Clips. I fuck with Virginia, that whole sound out there. I used to work with Missy Elliott, and Teddy Riley. I got so much respect for, and I'm a big fan of Pharrell's and, just that whole VA movement, and I fuck with them real heavy. And I know their whole beef originated from some Young Money shit, I guess from Wayne or whatever it may be and whatever. And, even then I said, listen, man, I just stay out of it. You know, I'm like, whatever, I don't really give a fuck,
Right.
whatever. And people knew I'm cool with Push. It's not no big deal. And then this beef kind of escalated low-key here and there. I don't really know exactly because I didn't want to ask. And then I hear a little bit here and there, you know, and, you know, I'm in Manchester, England, February 2017 with Drake, and we're taking a long-ass drive, about a 45 to hour drive to go see the Warriors play on a television screen at some random bar. And at a certain point, I thought we were getting fucking kidnapped because we were driving for so fucking long in the countryside. And we just started talking about everything. You're talking about money, shows, blah, blah, whatever, homies, how you been with my, you know, the kids, everything else. And I was like, yo, man, you got any drama with Pusha? You guys cool now? Whatever. He goes, yo, man, you know, it's really whatever. I don't have anything. So there was nothing there, you know? I'm just bringing that up as a reference point. February 2017.
I got you.
So, like, you know, they get into a little battle.
Right.
And at that point, I got a lot of people in Push's camp that I fuck with on a personal level.
Right.
His manager, Steven Victor, is a top executive, Def Jam or Universal. He's a good friend of mine. We buy watches from each other. We do a lot of trading. He's Push's manager. He also manages a lot of other artists. He managed Tyga at one point. I don't know if he still does. He managed a couple other people, some young cats. And Steven's a good guy. And right before Drake wrote that, I guess he wrote a verse or something, and he put the picture out. He put an invoice out to Good Music, whatever, and he put Steven Victor's real email address on there. And it fucking ruined Steven Victor's email address, right? Whatever. And I'm a troll. People know this. I thought at that point it was still some playful banter, fuck around, let me troll a little bit. So I went to Steven Victor's page and he posted something. I forgot. It wasn't relevant to the battle or anything. He just posted something and I left a comment and I said, yo, bro, because in Drake's caption he put, you know, charge this to your black card or something like that, blah, blah, whatever. Steven Victor at you know, Universal Music, blah, blah, whatever. So I went to his page and he had something. I don't know if it was a car or something. And I was like, yo, Steven, you gonna pay for that with your black card? And people were like, oh shit, you know, with the whoop, boom, boom. So now people start pulling out. People start DMing me. Start going, yo, man, you a fucking ultimate Drake dick rider. You a bitch, you know, blah, blah, whatever. And then
these are just random people?
Yeah, random people going off because they don't know that me and Steven Victor are friends.
Got you.
Like, bro, it's not that difficult. Go to his page and see if he follows me. You know what I'm saying? Go to Push's page, see if he follows, whatever, boom. Now, at that point, I had only followed 300 people. I unfollowed 270 people. So I unfollowed Push, I unfollowed Steven Victor, I unfollowed people, blah, blah, whatever. But I didn't unfollow Drake, which is weird, right? And it just, I don't know, at that point, and people just immediately thought I was choosing a side or whatever. And so I went on Twitter. I was like, yo, man, I'm not about to get in the middle of this bullshit. And Drake put out, he put out his diss. And I was like, yo, man, you know what? I'm staying out of this, right? And then, you know, Drake was just laughing. He was like, yeah, you know, he's like, whatever. I ain't tripping.
He thought it was all over.
No, he was just like, yo, he's like, don't trip, whatever. I'm not tripping on, you know, on anything.
But when he put that shit out, because I listened to, after that HBO The Shop thing, which is funny because like somehow LeBron is in this shit, I listened to the songs again, and you could tell Drake thought, oh, I'm going to hit, because, yo, his track record, he shut down Meek Mill.
For sure.
He thought it was all good.
He was, yeah. So
it wasn't all good.
Going on, I'll never forget, I was driving home and I was in really bad traffic. And I started getting text messages left and right that the Duppy, not the Duppy, what was it? Oh,
that
Duppy.
Was his.
Duppy.
That was Drake's.
I started getting a million messages. Like, I'm talking, my phone started going crazy. And so I'm driving and I have my phone on the little like hands-free display. I go to Twitter. I said, something's up. I go immediately. And I see the picture of Drake in blackface, and I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, what the fuck is this, right? And I didn't know, whatever. And I wasn't still judging anything, right? So I start driving, and I get the link to the story of Adi Dawn, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I listened to it immediately. And I'm like, as soon as I heard Push talking quietly and calmly and everything, I was like, oh, the confidence he had was so vicious that I was like, oh shit. Now, I'm not trying to flex. I'm just letting you know where my mind state is at. I'm sitting in LA traffic, 5 o'clock. I'm in a McLaren with fucking Gorilla Glass roof, right?
This is why your nickname Ben Baller fits.
So I'm sitting here.
Traffic wasn't enough.
And I had to turn.
You're in the McLaren.
I had to turn my car into regular mode. There's sport mode, race mode, and regular mode. I had to turn it to regular mode because the engine was loud and I wanted to hear every verse, everything bit. And I was like, wait a second, this song's like 2 minutes long. It's not very long, right? It was short and sweet to the point.
Sometimes it's short and sweet.
And I didn't have to play replay.
No.
I heard it one time.
Yeah.
And I went to Twitter and I put OHMYGOD space and I didn't say anything else. I just put, oh my God. I think a lot of people knew immediately, blah, blah, whatever. One of dudes on Push's team was like, fuck you. You know, if you either rocking with us or you ain't rocking with us, don't fuck with family, blah, blah, whatever. And I won't say his name, but he hasn't hit me ever since. And this is a pretty decent friend of mine where we've broke bread together. He's brought me some enormously big clients. He actually, in his best interest, it might not be that he should do that, whatever, but we haven't talked since all of this still, right? I haven't talked to Push, at all. And I don't think it's like he hates me or anything, right? But it's like, he went raw. Now, personally, again, I've been around every single battle fucking beef from, do you know what I'm saying? The bridge is over to fucking you name it, right?
Right.
I've been through all of them. I still think nothing will ever touch No Vaseline, never. Just for the simple fact that he just went after. It was so different. There was no Twitter. There was no nothing. If there was Twitter then and it was like on that level, this would have been, it'd be trending 5 months later. Like it was so bad, right?
Yes.
And what he went through and just like even the shit, like for the fact that I was
Ether and the Takeover were both, those were big too.
They're big. But like I said, this was some whole
Cube
other...
and NWA at the time, it was like...
I mean, how do you leave the Beatles of rap and then you become bigger than them? It was just crazy. You know what I'm saying?
And then you talk shit about them.
Yeah, and on top of that, like when we redid... I used to be at Priority Records. I was an executive there. When we re-put out the Death Row's Greatest Hits, we distributed it for Interscope. On No Vaseline, Suge put that on the album. People probably don't know this. And I don't even know. I just came in my head right now. Obviously... I didn't know we were going to talk about this.
Suge put it on the
listen
NWA record.
When you look and go look up Death Row's Greatest Hits, okay? Death Row's Greatest Hits dropped around 95 or 96. Death Row's Greatest Hits, it had like 50 songs. It was like a 4 CD special album, blah, blah. It had every single Death Row. There was a shitload of hits, right? The last song on there was No Vaseline. No Vaseline had nothing to do with it. It wasn't on fucking Death Row. That was an Ice Cube record from fucking Death Certificate. That was a final song on Death Certificate. That had nothing to do with Suge.
So why was it on there?
Because it was dissing Dre, and it was shitting on Dr. Dre, blah, blah, whatever. But Brian Turner, CEO of Priority, they edited Lil Vaseline when he said, because you let a Drew fuck up our crew.
Right.
So it says you let a beep fuck up our crew. And I was like, well, that was weird. So anyways, that's some hip-hop history people don't know about probably. The reason why I was on there because Suge put it on there, and Suge was still CEO. So anyways, going back, I've listened to all these diss songs and everything else, and I know I get sidetracked a lot, but there's always history being brought in, so you listen to what's going on. I thought there are no belts, and I feel like, listen, man, I feel like you could talk about somebody's mom, and I don't care if people are like, oh, you're a punk, and you could keep it funky with me. I feel like when he went at 40, man, it was a little different than me talking about your mom or your sister or your wife or somebody because
40 is Drake's guy.
That's his best friend and also his producer.
See, I don't even know this.
He has multiple sclerosis. He has MS.
Okay.
And I found out when me and 40 started becoming, friends, and 40's a close friend of mine. That's my boy. Like that's my little bro, Like he's a very good dude. And he's very busy and whatever it may be, but Drake don't record, don't even go on stage unless 40's there, So when he went on that and said that about a terminal disease or this is something you have no control over. It just comes or whatever. And I felt like now people are like, oh man, why you being a bitch? Well, why you taking Drake's side? I'm not. I just felt like that was the only thing. Other than that, as far as raw, it was as raw as you can get.
Yeah. And the thing that's getting now, it's like Machine Gun Kelly, who I heard his name. You've seen him around. He dated Amber Rose.
He's a client of mine. Yeah,
I didn't know any of his music. Like Machine Gun Kelly saying all this stuff about Eminem. Eminem we like his whole life, his last 20 years, whenever he came out, 25 years, maybe it was 20 years, whatever the fuck it was. Like you can Wikipedia, Instagram, like his whole life. Now it's like, it's not about whose rap is the best or whose songs is. It's like who can conjure up and come up with the most secrets, the most private stuff. And it wasn't like that. It was like who put out the best joint, who put out the best song, who put out the most one-liners. Now it's like
by saying bars though.
By saying bars. Now it's like who's got the best secret, who's got the best secrets that they could reveal. And it gets into a place where it gets really heated really quick. And the Tupac and Biggie thing is like an example I think hopefully everybody's learned from, because no one wants to see. You don't want to see anybody getting beat up, and like we could sit there and be like, yo, this happened, but it's like these are real things with real people. So
right. Well, I mean, it's gotten there, and then I've never watched that show before. I didn't know there was only 2 episodes. I thought there may be more than that.
It's good.
So I watched that just to catch. Well, one, Ben Simmons is my little homie, so I watch to see Ben and whatever. And sometimes like Ben posted a picture. He posts, yo, the King and the Fresh Prince. And I DM'd him. I was like, bro, really, man? I was like, I can't see this shit on my timeline. I follow you. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here. And he'll just put LOL, whatever.
He's like the Fresh Prince, though.
Yeah, he is.
That motherfucker's nasty.
I'm gonna be real with you too, man. Ben Simmons is such a cool fucking dude. But anyways, forget all that. He's a very nice guy.
British Australian accent?
Every time I talk to him, I can't tell.
It's just sort of international man of man of mystery.
Pretty much. Cool dude.
He's a nasty motherfucker.
Yeah, he's cold with it. So going on, I'm watching The Shop. And I hear Drake talk. Drake's very well versed. He
articulated himself very clearly,
incredibly. And I'm like, wow, dude, like you couldn't have did it, on a fucking better platform ever. And then like, LeBron was there, blah blah, whatever. And another thing too is I've never watched the show before, so for me to see LeBron not act like to be a street dude,
he's
right?
Cursing and shit.
Yeah, it's weird.
Motherfucker this, mother N-word this. I was tripped. The first episode was worse with the cursing.
I never heard him ever say the N-word before in my life until that show, and I was like, wait a second, bro.
Yeah, it bugged me out. It's like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Because the NBA players, there's like rules.
And as fucked up as it is, I felt like, all right, well.
Softened you again.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Say it. Soften the palate. Soften your, trust me, I'm going through the same thing. Yeah. I'm going through the
I can't say soften. Let's say it watered it down a little bit. Say it watered
down the hate a little bit.
No, like some raindrops hit me, and I watched it, and then he broke the whole thing about Kanye down, and I know this sounds fucking so bad, right? And it's so like, listen, man, if I tell you something, you're gonna go off it immediately and be like, yo, I hate I'm trying to think of somebody. I hate Russell Wilson because Ben didn't blah blah. And I have no beef with Russell. I'm a fucking Seahawks fan. If you're like, I hate Russell Wilson because you know what, man, he fucked over Ben and blah blah. Because I told you that, right? And I told you in a serious voice. Now, at the same time, you haven't heard Russell's side, and you don't even know if what I'm telling you is truth or anything, whatever.
Right.
But immediately, I just felt like that was something Kanye would say or do or whatever. And so at that point, I was like, yo,
he wouldn't go on that show making that up.
Yeah, I just felt like I can't fuck with Kanye anymore. Not that I was already on my last leg with them, and I've never had a bad rapport with Ye. I've had a bad rapport with Kim. Me and her got into beefs here and there, whatever. And I feel bad about it. What people want me to do with LeBron, I never had beef with Kim. I just said some poor tasting jokes, things where I think people are still too sensitive. And I made fun of her album when she came out with the album.
Kim Kardashian?
Yeah.
She came out with an album?
Or she came out with a song. Remember, with The Dream produced it. And,
damn, these broads think they could just do anything.
Well, I said something.
I didn't know she came out with a fucking song.
Yeah. And then I got a text that was so long that on an iPhone, you'd have to scroll like 9 times. On an iPhone XX Max, you scroll 6 times. Like, it was long. And I felt like, okay, whatever, wasn't a big deal. Then I made a couple jokes about it on my reality show. Me and Rob are good friends. I've always been cool with everyone in their family. And then I realized, you know what, man? People were like, yo, you should grow up. And I'm like, I've been talking shit all my life. If you know me, it's not like I talk shit about you after. I talk shit about before, after, whenever, during. It's just me. You know what? Saw a Justin Bieber concert. Her and Ye were there, blah, blah, whatever. And she's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, you know what? I hate going somewhere. And it's like awkward. Like I can't go to a birthday party. So I walked up to her and I said, hey, listen. And she's like, hey, what's up? And I was literally 1 inch from her face. And I was like, Kim, listen, this is not the place to do this at. And when there's somewhere else I can elaborate, I just want to say I'm sorry for saying things I said about you that were wrong. And I said, you know what? I really do mean that. And listen, I'm a dad. You know, I have kids.
Right.
You're a mom now. Listen, I should say it. And I know on a platform, people take certain things serious on social media. But what I'm saying is, I'm telling you, one, I'm wrong. Two, I'm sorry. And I don't want anything else. You don't have to say anything to me. I just want to let you know that's where it's at. And I'd even get deeper about it. And she's like, thank you so much. Don't worry about it.
And what'd she smell like?
Like Evian water and like, she smelled great always.
Okay, I would imagine.
So and by the way, we can get into another story where she's always A1.
I'm sure she's cool.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like pedicure.
But she did a song. What the fuck?
But anyways, what I'm saying is, I apologize, and I was like, all right, cool.
Because you know that when it's being in Los Angeles and you come across people. And I've come across people that I've talked shit about, and then when you meet them as a person, it's like it's a person.
Right. No, I get it. But sometimes they just really are a piece of shit, though, Mike, and you know that because me and you are.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Not every year. And then they get that fucking Willie Hutch.
Yeah.
They get that Willie Hutch.
And they get the Willie Hutch, and you know
they get it nice.
My boy is the president of Yeezy Supply, and it makes it more difficult for me to say certain things that I want to say. Because I don't want to fuck with his business and he's a father too and everything else. But like, sometimes people say, hey, listen, trust the process or wait for it or blah, blah. I don't want to wait for it, bro.
Nah, I've had enough.
I don't want to wait for it. The Trump thing already is too much. The music ain't good anymore.
Nah.
You know, at first people like, you're hating.
You're making me root for Drake.
And
like,
then,
that's what he's put me in a predicament. I'm like, oh yeah, like, Drake, you're the asshole and Drake's the good guy.
Right.
Now, let me ask you something. You mentioned something to me about Yeezys, like, because you know you're involved, you know, with your own stuff, and you're a sneakerhead. You mentioned something to me about like the value of these sneakers going down, like Yeezy exclusives and all that stuff. Like, just like in terms of,
I took a notice that. Well, and I feel like, you know, later someone will be like, oh, you're full of shit or blah, blah, or maybe this is going to cause beef or anything. This is just...
No, just the stocks. Talk about it in facts.
It's just an observation.
Yeah, I'm just asking an observation because I don't know anything about that. I wear my fucking New Balances.
Yeah,
and I wear them until they fucking get a hole at the bottom.
Listen, bro. I've worn all the new Yeezys when they first came out, everything. You know, the first time I thought it was definitely, you know, when he did his Nike thing, he created a shoe that was dope and it was unique, and to this day the Nike ones are my favorite ones. You know, when he first came out with the first thing, I was like, yo, this is a little weird, I don't know. And the first boost on Adidas, and I was like, you know what, these are actually kind of fresh, and I fuck with them. And the boots, it was weird, and I rocked them and I made it work. And then, you know, eventually, you know, the values were real high and they went down, and then for a little bit the old school, the older original Boost stuff was still holding pretty good value, but like now, they've, you know, gone half.
They have.
Yeah, they're you know, like I see 750s and stuff, and I don't know if it's because of the Trump shit. I don't know if it's because of anything else. I'm just letting you know that's what I see.
But as a sneaker collector, this just your opinion. As a sneaker collector, would it be a good time if you see these things going half and going down like a stock? Like, buy it now because it'll go up later. Does it work like that?
It does. Listen, there's a company called StockX. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They do IPOs. You know, it's like real stock market time or whatever. I'll be honest with you. I can't predict that. Do you know?
I would. If I was into it?
No. I'm telling you this.
I would get them.
No, on a business level.
I would get them as a business level because I think they're going to go back up.
I don't think they will.
Wow.
Yeah. That's where I think they are. I think it will hit, you know, a ceiling. And I think it'll plateau, and it maybe will just stay kind of there. It'd be interesting to see.
What's the most expensive sneaker now? Like in your collection, like if you were like, instead of your Lamborghini and you had to bet, whatever your most expensive sneaker that
just one pair,
like that you're like that has the most value. Like what is it? Because this is so foreign to me.
I would probably say maybe the Wahlburger Jordan 4s.
What are those?
Mark Wahlberg's family, Wahlburgers?
Yes.
He made an exclusive Jordan 4.
And how many pairs were they made?
Honestly, I don't even know. But I think they're probably made about like 45,000, 50,000.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And then Drake gave me a pair of shoes that are probably like around 35,000 as well. Some OVOs, some Kentuckys.
Kentucky OVOs?
Yeah. University of Kentucky. Let me
$35,000.
Yeah. Khaled has a cool pair of shoes right now that are around 30 grand too.
That if you have them, they're worth that much.
Yeah, they're worth.
These are not for wearing unless you don't give a fuck.
I mean, you saw me on my show when I did my thing last week.
I saw you.
Yeah,
you were wearing some M&M joints.
19 at one point. Those were 30,000 at one point, but they're not. So I mean, they're 19. I wore them. 19,000. I wore them. Fuck it, you know.
If you keep them on ice and they're pristine, they don't go up, or they
sometimes it depends because people find out more information later. Oh, it really wasn't 100 pairs. Maybe it was 1,000. People find this. Oh, boom. Or the market goes down for certain things or whatever. And then they find out a little bit more about certain things and how much, you know, this went and this went. But right now, the Marty McFly's, right, the Air Mags, the Back to the Future shoes, they released a second edition of them that had the auto laces. So it's like you got the Back to the Future Michael J. Fox shoes.
Right.
They released a second edition that has self-auto. So as you put your foot in, it just goes, and the laces, you know, they lace up by themselves automatically.
That's
and it has the glowing
something.
stuff. Those are like 75, 80 grand now, dude.
So if you keep them on ice, those are not to be worn to play 2-on-2 in.
Honestly, I wouldn't wear those. Those should go in a framed glass display somewhere. And later, you know, you gotta remember, some of these sneakers are being sold at Christie's and Sotheby's and shit like that now.
That's
you know?
what I'm saying.
You know.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I Am Rapaport podcast.
What is your take on Spitgate? Do you remember where you were? This is gonna be the type of thing in 20 years from now. Do you remember where you were? The internet is such a fucking joke. They make moments out of
You know
everything.
what, man? Okay, so this is the crazy thing,
You've
right?
been around beef. What is your
No.
take on spit? Joey Coco Diaz said he spit in 2 people's face in the last 5 years, but he really made it like
I'm
he
gonna be honest
Tupac
with
to
you.
spit.
I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? I've spit on somebody before, and that is like the most dirtiest thing in the world. So this is where I'm getting at. When I say I spit, I've been like, what? And I'm talking about a fucking spit.
You
which were like,
Tupac'd it. The way Tupac spit on the
real
reporters.
deal. So going on now, I watched the fight live. I didn't watch it like later on the road. I was watching it live, and I'm like, what the fuck? Now, nothing will ever be the Ron Artest ever. And to me, just because watching that was the craziest shit, especially when I seen Jermaine O'Neal lay that dude out,
Yeah, that was
innocent bystander on the bench. First of all, these dudes should have never came onto the court. What the fuck are you thinking? But Detroit, they're crazy. And then when they start jumping into the stands and fighting people, I'm like, listen, dude, I've almost gotten into 3 fights, one with a friend, right? I trolled Russell Westbrook so much that he was like, yo, the newscaster on the news, because I couldn't hear it on the news because I'm on the floor, said, seems like Russell Westbrook is getting into it with someone on the floor. And then on top of that, some fan in the crowd started talking shit who was sitting one row behind me. I was sitting on the floor, and he's going off wearing an OKC jersey. I'm like, what, fool? So I got
He
up.
started talking shit to you.
So I got out of my seat. Matt Kemp sees me and goes, hey, bro, you need to chill the fuck out, right? And he tries to grab me. I'm like, oh, fuck that. I walked just as to say something to me, and I'll slap the shit out of you. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. People were taking pictures. This was like not even that long ago. It's like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. People were taking pictures, and then the police and the red jackets and everything started coming up to me, and they're like, listen, I was like, no. I start throwing some names around, which I won't say because they could have got me in a lot of trouble, but they let me stay there. I just got so hyped up, right? Got into a fight with
You're
Kendrick.
fucking nuts,
Yeah.
man. This doesn't happen with me.
No.
I'm telling you straight up.
I got into an altercation with Kendrick Perkins, and
You're crazy.
at the end of the night, he scores 2 points. I'm like, listen, bro, meet me here outside after you get dressed, and I'm gonna have you motherfucking beating the fuck up, because I had like so many gangbangers I knew inside the fucking. Dude, I'm from LA, bro. I knew all these crazy dudes I knew were there. I've gotten into it, and then one time I got into it with Beasley. That scared the shit out of me because I didn't know he was fucking. You know, he's like crazy for real.
Yeah, he got crazy eyes.
So he took his jersey off and threw it on the ground, and then he got ejected. And as he got ejected, I was sitting right behind the fucking the Timberwolves bench. I was at a Clippers game, by the way. I was like, yo, dude. People were like, yo, bro, he's gonna fuck around and for real come out here and try to kill you. Most recently, last season, I'm sitting on the court side.
You're
and
heckling, like you're talking crazy shit.
Yeah. So I said some shit. Boogie Cousins.
Another one.
He's out of his mind. He scored like 52 points, whatever. Comes, plays the Lakers the next night, and he cries about a foul. I was like, man, I was like, sit your bitch ass down. You sound crazy. He looked back at me. He was about from where I am, a little bit past, maybe to the door right there, right? And he looked back at me and goes, what'd you say, fool? And I was like, man, shut up, man. He's like, you better stick to making jewelry, motherfucker. He's like, you get fucked up. I was like, bro, man, shut up, dude. You're tripping, right? She goes, all right. And I looked at him. I was like, yo, bro, this guy's serious. And my boy goes, hey, man, I would love if you just shut the fuck up, man. And people were telling me, like, yo, you should be careful. There's a couple billionaires sitting right next to me on the floor. And I'm like, yo, this dude's fucking crazy. So at halftime, I go to the other side of the court to say what's up to a buddy of mine, right? And my attorney's over there as well. And we're talking. And my boy looks at me, because I'm like this, right? The court is right here. Okay, and I'm talking to my boy. I'm like, yeah, man, you know, booty whoop and fucking, that girl's kind of pretty, you know, blah, blah. I got this new car. And my boy looks at me like, and he looks up and does that, right? What the fuck? And he goes, "What's up, homie? Why don't you say some shit to me now?" And it was Boogie Cousins. And I was like,
It's right behind you.
Right behind me, bro. 5 inches from me. And he goes, "Say something to me now, bro." And I was like, I was like, "You're fucking 7 feet tall, 300 pounds, bro. What's wrong with you? Are you fucking crazy?" He goes, "No, dog. You was talking all that shit. Say something to me now."
And this is halftime.
Well, you know, at the end of halftime, they come back on the court.
Right.
And he's like, "Say something to me now." And I was like, "Man, bro, get the fuck out of here, man. You're crazy." And he goes, "No, say something to me now, bro." And I was like, "You gotta be." I was stuck because, listen, I'll fight LeBron before I fight this dude. He's way bigger than LeBron. This dude was enormous, right? He looked like one of the Monstars, right? So my boy, who's also crazy, that was sitting right in front of me, he's one of the craziest white boys I know. He's like 6'4", 220, and I seen him knock people out. He was even like, "Bro, I can't jump in this one, bro. He's about to kill you." And I was like, "Dog, I'm just talking shit, bro." And I never really, but I was so bothered that this dude took it serious because he was so big. But then I realized, like, yo, why wouldn't he take it serious?
Right.
In some ways, whether I think I'm a clown and I clown myself, people think that I take myself too serious. They don't realize how much I talk more shit about myself than anybody.
Right.
So I'm like, listen, maybe people out there actually think I'm somewhat important because I'm in songs and everything else. And he listens to hip hop culture. He's a young dude. He felt like, "Hey, listen, I'm really disrespecting him." And I'm like, "Yo, bro," I said, "You got me." Like, "Nah, dog, you're tripping, bro." Like, I didn't say I didn't want no smoke. I was just like, "Dog, you
gave off the impression you didn't want smoke."
But I was like, "Yo, you're bugging." And he's like, "All right." He said, "You need to make me a fucking chain." And I was like, "All right, bro, I'll make you a chain." He goes, "No, but I'm not paying for it." And I was like, "All right, bro." I started walking long behind the fucking security and walked the other way and then walk across the court. I walked behind everyone.
You need to make me a fucking chain.
Yeah. I was like, fuck that. I was like, dude, I was like, wow. That was the closest to where I was like, because I'm not the type of dude to be like, "Oh, I'm going to sue this dude for $13 million. I wouldn't, come on, bro, you crazy? Like,
right.
But I wouldn't want him to hit me.
Fuck no.
Yeah, like.
Yo, when you're up on NBA dudes, like, and you're really there, like, motherfuckers don't realize how big these motherfuckers are.
Right. But he looks like he actually could fight too, though. You know what I mean? So, like.
It doesn't matter if he could not fight. When you're 7 feet, 280, that that's a big motherfucker.
No, for sure. So I was tripping. So, you know, going on to heckling and whatever. I know we're originally talking about shoes. Another thing too is when you can find an NBA Players exclusive, depending on some of these things, going back to sneakers, Russell Westbrook, around 5 years ago, I was sitting in a floor seat game. Somehow, he was wearing Jordan 3s. My favorite Jordan of all time. The Jordan 3 Black Cement's my favorite. He was wearing an OKC color Jordan 3, player exclusive, right? They call them PEs. PEs are player exclusives. And I was like, what the fuck? And I remember back in the day.
So you think that was like a one of one?
It is a one of one.
So these guys have other level.
Other level, next level. But see, the thing is, on the flip side, when it comes to a rare sneaker, you'll never see a rare sneaker over a 13, 14. So these guys can't wear those because these guys are 17, 18, 19, 15, 16. These guys don't get the chance to wear some of these rare Yeezys or anything else because they don't make over a 13.
Right.
So seeing Russell Westbrook, I was like, whoa, it reminded me back in the day in the 90s, you know, I played ball against Harold Miner in high school. So like seeing Harold Miner play, they call him Baby Jordan, right?
Right.
He had the Jordan 9s. And on the back of his shoe, instead of saying 23, he had 32 on there, like actually made in the shoe. That was fucking dope. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like seeing player exclusives now, they're dope. And like there's a few people who are really big in kicks.
Right.
In the NBA
you mean ball players.
Yeah. PJ Tucker is the most insane collection, like crazy. He buys all the crazy shit. And like, you know, a lot of things work into the price. Like for instance, when Kobe did they did a friends and family Kobe Jordan 3 and an 8. And these are still going for $30,000 each.
Still.
Yes. And they made all the sizes for homies and stuff. Like Fabulous got a pair. And I didn't get a pair. And I was kind of felt like, yo, man. You know, and at the same time, people are like, yo, why should you get a pair? I could think of a million people's reasons why I should get a pair. But at the same time, whatever, I didn't. And, you know, Kobe's legacy is written and done. So that shoe is just going to go up and up.
Right.
That Jordan. You know what I mean?
So like an art piece. Like those are ones you don't wear.
Yeah.
They're collections.
But for the most part, when it comes to rare collectible shoes, it's usually a Nike Jordan or maybe a SB Dunk. Some of the old Dunks now are coming back, all the NCAA Dunks.
I like the old Dunks.
Yeah, so I remember actually, you know, randomly seeing you around and seeing you wear Dunks. So like, for instance, the Iowa States are coming back, you know what I'm saying? Like
the black and yellow joints?
Yeah, the goldenrod. So like you got Kentucky, you got the UNLV, you got, you know, or they call them the Ohio State Buckeyes, but they're UNLVs, the Running Rebel shoes. They got like, you know, Kentucky Wildcats. They have all these old school Michigans, right?
Will Puma, Converse, and Under Armour ever be legitimately sexy? Can Jay-Z, with all his fucking dopeness and shit, and they have some good players who just signed to Puma, they're even trying to get ball players to get New Balance. Well, I mean, I guess no one would have thought Adidas would have been back, and they made it back. So, like,
Not only did they come back, they're fucking. They actually went out and fucking start killing. Listen,
they're killing. But we know those. Can Puma, Converse, forget Under Armour, because that's always going to be a sports brand.
Right. So Under Armour has always been, I didn't even know this until later, because A$AP Rocky just dropped his shoe with Under Armour, but he did a black line. So now with...
What do you mean a black line?
Like you know how Prada has Prada Sport? Right. So like Prada Sport's like their like sport line, but still Prada's not exactly attainable to regular people on the street. And even sport's still very expensive, right? He did like a Prada Sport line for Under Armour. He did like a $10 million deal with Under Armour, you know? And Rocky's a smart business dude. He's a very highly looked at fashion dude. So he released an OG pair of sneakers that were like, I mean, I wear them. People are like, oh, they're ugly, whatever. I like them. You know, they're comfortable as hell. But like Under Armour, you got to look at the fact that every single year for like 5 years, they either had the starting player on the Super Bowl team, they had the best player in soccer, they had the best player in fucking football, basketball, something.
They got Steph a good Curry. Scouting team.
So they always had the best guys. Yeah, so going on, it still doesn't help. I don't know if Steph Curry's shoes are selling, but I know they ain't worth anything on the resale market. Right. You know what I mean? So going back, I know Jay's pushing Puma heavy and Puma's giving big checks, but I don't know. Now, again, if they get the right cultural influencer person, it could be cool and hot for a minute. I don't know if they could withstand and have that longevity. I don't know if they could have like that. Like Adidas was dead for a minute, right? And you only looked at them as a Run DMC shell toe original shoe.
Right.
And then Pharrell came in.
Right.
And then fucking Pharrell came and fucking flipped everything with the fucking human made shit, blah, blah. And then Ye came in too.
Right.
And then like all this other stuff.
And they made cool sneakers for whatever it's worth.
They did. Pusha came in and did a couple things cool. It's just saying they got a good team.
So it's got to be, it can't just be Jay-Z. The sneaker at some point's got to appeal to...
They need a good silhouette. And from there, boom. Nike had so many unbelievable silhouettes that they started...
What does that mean, silhouette?
So they need, like, for instance, like, that's a silhouette of the 574. Now, if I start putting snakeskin, blah, blah, whatever, we're doing a 574. Now there's a 670, there's an 888, or blah, blah, blah.
I got
so it's like Nike has a Jordan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They could keep going. The 17 might come around and be hot again. You never fucking know. You know, Adidas had so many different molds, whatever. What I'm saying is Puma has a Clyde. They have like a couple little breakdance shoes.
But Clyde is dope though. Like that, when I look at that logo, like modern, like I'm like, yo, this shit's kind of dope.
It is, but kids are weird.
They don't know.
And they don't know. Dude, I know fucking kids who don't even fucking know who fucking Pete Rock is.
Yeah.
Let alone you try to go back to KRS-One or something. It's like, who?
Right, they don't know.
You know, and again, people are like, oh, you don't know hip-hop. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, hip-hop, yes, pre-2008. I'm a motherfucker.
Right.
After that, it's like, I just know I'm making change for some people.
I got you.
You know, going on, Converse, they're always going to be the classic. And it's like, you know, even Larry Johnson during his height couldn't do the Grandmama, couldn't do it. And it's like, there was a point where definitely, you know, the Converse weapons were dope because Bird and Magic had them. But it was like, you know, it's like, okay, well, it did well for that. But it's like, it never did the Jordan well. So it's like, now
you need a young motherfucker like the Bird, Jordan, Dr. J, history of Converse. You need some young person to revitalize it.
Let me break this down.
Break it down.
Virgil is so big right now. It's out of control, right? He's a founder and owner of, you know, founder and a creative director for Off-White. He's also, you know,
I hate those fucking sneakers, by the way.
But listen,
I don't need the sneaker to say what's on the sneaker.
But listen, man,
I don't need the fucking, what would they like? I don't want the sneaker looking like it's gonna fall apart.
I get it.
Like, oh, we're gonna use a staple to put the thing on.
Okay, so
like,
listen,
I get it's like raw, but it's like I don't want the fucking thing to fall apart.
But listen, he's a big deal. He's part of Donda.
I know.
He's
What
part
do
of
I know?
Ye's
I know nothing.
So he's part of Kanye's, you know, original design team camp. He's part of Donda. And, you know, he came out and flourished. That's a big deal. Listen, man.
I get it.
When you're someone big though, like you're Drake or Kanye, and someone in your crew becomes almost bigger, that's a big deal, right? So I'm happy for Virgil. I had a joke with him one time too, because I didn't get a pair of his first early shoes, so I finally got a pair of myself, and I put fuck Virgil on the side because he puts like air this, air Bella Hadid, or air Kardashian, blah blah whatever. So anyways, he came out Now, mind you, an expensive sneaker in my eyes or a collector's eyes is when you get over the $600 mark, when you get to 6 to 3 G's, it's not fucking games anymore. You have a hot sneaker on your hands, okay?
Right.
I would say even a decent semi-general release, we call them GRs, a GR sneaker could hit 325, 350.
What generally?
General release.
Oh, general
meaning
release.
Meaning it hit Foot Locker.
I got you.
If it doesn't hit Foot Locker, usually it hits a tier 0 account, tier 1 account. I don't have time to break those numbers down, but Undefeated is a tier 0 account.
Now, would you ever come with me? Like we get a rent a car and maybe some masks. We see these assholes lined up in front of one of these stores early and egg these cocksuckers. Would you ever do that with me? Like
I've done it before. Bro.
Like we egg these, just lob a couple eggs in there. Like you spread the crowd out.
It'd be good for the culture if we do that. It'd be good for the culture because now these kids, people are paying for waiting in line services and this, that, whatever. It's like, get the fuck out of here. It's a real service. You asked about the Converse, and I just wanted to let you know, no one's ever made a Converse expensive. Virgil did an off-white Converse, and I got gifted a pair. My wife got gifted a pair, and some of them are up to $3,500 for it, depending on what size they are. So they're, it's crazy. But again, he'd have to do a line and this, that, and the third to make it like cool. It was so limited. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, so again, I don't know. Do you know, like the reason why Balenciaga and these big gigantic dad shoes, the crazy looking runners, that people call them clown shoes, whatever, they're doing was because one, they have a history of obviously one super expensive price point. They have a rapper or like an influencer behind it, blah, blah, and they could do that. And they have their history of high fashion.
Right.
When it comes to the regular sneaker shit, it's like, I don't know if you caught it because you listened to the song Sicko Mode, but you hear Drake and he says checks over stripes. I mean stripes over checks.
What does that mean?
I'm sorry, checks over stripes. So the Nike's a check. It's a swoosh. And he was saying that the stripes are the Adidas. Remember, his deal was the Adidas.
Right.
And then all that shit happened with the song. And
Right.
I guess
He's Nike, right?
Yeah, he's Nike. But he signed with Adidas, signed a big deal, and then I don't know. So it's a crazy thing.
All right, Ben Bowler. Ben Bowler made the chain. Ben Bowler made the fucking slides. Ben Bowler did the podcast. We're back. Hopefully the Red Sox, your prediction will be wrong, but at least you keep your Lamborghini. The people wanted it. I wanted Ben Bowler, part 2 on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. I appreciate it, Ben.
Thank you. I really appreciate coming back, man.
I told you it was good. You're rocking with the best. You gotta pay the cost to be the boss. Okay, this is the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, the best in the fucking business. A growing, evolving forest of podcasting. There's roots, trees sprouting up all over the place. This is an ever-growing, ever-changing forest of greatness, okay? Ben Bowler, thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for taking me a ride in that shitbox Lamborghini you have. I'm kidding. And so much more. It's the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. Best in the business. Miles Jordan, take us out of here with something real nice, something real proper. I'm done.